Other play, of course, the Heritage Classic. Great venue in Hamilton. Buffalo just keeps knocking off the top dogs right now. And they get by Toronto 5-2. But of course, the story many are talking about, Auston Matthews has a hearing, not in person though, which kind of gives us a little foreshadowing on the length of the suspension. He's clearly getting suspended, I would think, for the cross-check to the side of Rasmus Dahlin. And Frank, I honestly think the fact that Dahlin didn't go down, that's helping Auston Matthews.
I'm not sure why it should matter. Like you need to be in control of your emotions and your stick at all times. And if you watch the video closely, there's nothing, like they're in a tussle, but there's nothing that Dahlin does that's really against the rules. He didn't use his stick. He simply pushed him with his arms. And I think it comes down to the totality of the circumstances, really the key. Tim Peel wrote about this on dailyfaceoff.com and gave his verdict of 2 games. It's late in a game that was supposed to be a memorable afternoon for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They've given up their 4th goal in a game for the 10th time in their last 12 games. It's snowing, it's cold, the Leafs are frustrated, and Auston Matthews simply loses his cool. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is someone that should have been in more control and wasn't, and his emotions got the best of him. And, I think in that case, when it's a reactionary play like that, not a hockey play, not just something that happened in the sequence of a game where you had little time to react, like I think those types of plays deserve a more harsh suspension. And, I'd like to see it be a little bit more than that. I just don't think that there's enough precedent. And the fact that Auston Matthews has never been fined or suspended and was last year a Lady Byng finalist for gentlemanly play, he doesn't have the rap sheet to really throw the book at him.
No, I would agree. I think they've got 3 games this week, Frank. They have Dallas and Carolina at home, and then they play in Nashville. I think he's going to get 3 games. I think he gets the week.
So what makes me curious about that is not necessarily how that impacts the Leafs. How does that impact the Rocket Richard race? Well, what if he ends up losing the Rocket Richard based on the 3 games missed? He's got a 6-goal lead over Leon Draisaitl, 7 over Chris Kreider, but still 3 games for Leon Draisaitl. He could easily score 6 and 3 or be close to it, knock on the door. What you've done is you've opened the door.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I would hope that player safety is not worrying about that, but it does impact it for sure. And so, you look at the way the Leafs are playing right now, like Auston Matthews being their best player. That's not even up for debate.
Yep.
Right. He's in the conversation for having the best season this year, no question. So you lose him for 3 games or 2 games, whatever it's going to be. Like maybe it's more than 3. Definitely don't see it being more than 5 because it's not in person. So that was a pretty vicious cross check. And he clearly just, had a brief moment of frustration and he let it get the best of him. And now we'll see what the consequences are. But
as Gary Bettman said, when Rocky Wirtz had his eruption, he was just having a moment.
yeah, a little bit different. But yeah, you're right.
He used every piece of his body, every fiber of his body to leverage himself to cross-check him in the face.
Hey man, is Dahlin that tough or what? Because he didn't even really budge.
Dahlin's a big dude.
Oh, he is a big dude. And I honestly think that helps Matthews. Because if the guy goes down, Frank, and you're right, it shouldn't matter. But I firmly believe it
always does.
Because it changes the perception.
Yeah. It always comes down to, was the player injured on the play? And the answer is no.